Welcome back to another cybersecurity video. I'm Robert Garza, and today we have a very interesting malware sample, the COVID-19 malware that's been going around for some time now. Um, so I hope you're doing well. I hope everyone's doing well out there and staying safe during these crazy times. Very crazy times, to say the least. So yeah, so I got a hold of this malware sample. I've been playing around with it for a few days now, and I did find some interesting findings during my um, initial malware analysis of this sample. So I wanted to record a live demonstration of it and share with you um, the live malware analysis of the sample. So just to go over the malware sample at a high level, exactly what it is, what it does, how it works. So I won't go into too much details. I mean, you can check out this article, or there's tons of articles out there, analysis reports, so you can read. Um, but at a high level, it's an info stealer, right? So it attempts to trick a user by visiting one of these bad or malicious domains that supposedly is going to give you information about the COVID-19 heat map. Um, the legit one, the legit one by John Hopkins actually gives you useful information about how the crisis is going, um, where it's been being impacted and whatnot. But there's a lot of fake websites out there, so people are downloading these quote unquote these heat maps, these coronavirus heat maps. It's a malicious application, and as I mentioned, it's a info stealer. So it attempts to steal your passwords from your browsers, credit card information, of course, and scrape documents that you may have on your desktop for any um, personal information that you may have in there. And that's about it in a nutshell. So I also want to show you. Well, I just want to give credit to the Johns Hopkins University website here about the heat map. I'm sure you've already checked this out before. And of course, virus total, just to give you an idea of what we're working with. This is the hash, and I'll show you the actual file, and we'll verify it. All right. So with that, let's go ahead and get started. Oh, actually, my disclaimer. So this video is for educational purposes only. I do not condone any type of hacking whatsoever. And please excuse me if I make any mistakes. I'm not a professional content creator. I just do this for fun. I don't use video editing software, so I click record and hopefully everything goes smooth. All right, so we're gonna take a pretty deep dive into this. We're gonna use several different tools here. I'll try and keep this as short as possible. We're gonna use burp. So I have all my web traffic proxied through burp. If you want to learn how to do that, I've got another video where I demonstrate how to do that. It's quite simple. You just change your network settings in your browser. And we're going to use Procman, or Process Monitor, and Process Hacker as well. And of course, I mean, there's lots of other tools we can use, but I mean, in the end, it's going to give us the same information. So why use 10 different tools when we can just realistically, I could probably get away with just using 2 tools. We're going to use 3 today. So I always say work smarter, not harder. So here's the malware sample. I of course renamed it Robert's Corona. Let's go ahead and hash this or verify. So right here are the different hashes. It's just what we saw in virus total. I think it was the 256. Right. and start up Process Hacker. And Process Monitor. Excuse me if you hear my heavy breathing or my dry mouth. This headset picks up everything. I mean, I guess it's a good thing, but and then of course burp. HTTP history. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and run this malware. Execute the binary and let it go. So you see that we saw a command window could pop up and it disappeared right away. We'll talk about that later. I'll show you why that happened. Accept these security alerts. Click OK. So right away we see the coronavirus heat map. So the image doesn't exactly display. It's so you're supposed to see that heat map. My mouse is. You're supposed to see this quote unquote corona or COVID-19 heat map. Obviously, it's a fake one. Information is probably not accurate. Anyhow, but I'm running Windows 7 32-bit. It's old my malware analysis box that I use, and this is old browser Internet Explorer. I'm not sure what version, but I know it's older, so that's probably why I'm having issues with the heat map not displaying properly. At least the logo's there, right? So let's go ahead and minimize that. We can minimize this. All right, so let's take a look at some of the traffic here that we caught in burp. So the very first one, so we see a post right here from that. So this is the main domain malicious or C2 server coronavirus status that space, which is taken down now. So from what I read, as you can see, it says unknown. The hackers had this hidden behind Cloudflare. But anyhow, it's obviously the website's taken down now. So that's about it for that. And we're going to see a lot of this GIS and data maps. Take a look at the headers. There's some compression going on, not a whole lot of information there, but of course, a lot of malicious requests, trying to pipe things through to the bad guys. So I just want to show you that burp. So obviously, you can collect all these domains, and you can use this information to protect your environment. All right. So now let's move on to the more interesting stuff. Let's go ahead and actually, and before we get into Process Hacker, I just want to freeze or pause these processes. So I'm actually just going to, there we go. Excuse me. So we have two malicious processes here going on. We're just For this video, we're just gonna have a look at this one. This is the most useful one, so I'm gonna suspend this process. This first one, we really don't need to look at it. So anyhow, we'll come back to that. I just want to suspend it. and look at process monitor here. We'll go to the tree view. Actually, let's do this. And we want to see the commands. That's good. Scroll down here. So as you can see, we have a whole lot of processes that were spawned here from our initial malware that we executed, which is right here, Robert's Corona. So we launched the initial malware here, which should launched a sub process down here at the bottom in the app data folder, and which in turn launched a command window, which we saw earlier in the beginning of the video. Remember, I asked you to remember that. So that's this line right here, and that was actually a bat file. And then in this next line, we can see that that file launched a self-extracting executable with a hard-coded password, and it looks like it was dropped into the system32 folder. You can see here TAC-P, and that's hard-coded password. And then moving down, we got a bunch of DLLs. So this is kind of interesting. This time, excuse me, not time, but I was reading this. The end of this file path here, AMD64 NetFX runtime or DAO's runtime. So this is interesting here. So we're actually gonna look for this folder here in a second. So all these child processes, which is launched by this parent Windows globalization font groups, we're gonna see the executable and see exactly what it did. You can see there was some 7-zip. We'll see that as well. What that parent process did. And I think that's all I wanted to show you here in process monitor. Yeah, so I think we got all the information. So as I said, we're gonna remember this path right here, this AMD64. It's an app data. I already know what it's at, so we're gonna go hunting for that right now. So go ahead and open up a window. Oops. App data. So as you can see, here's that folder that we just saw. It's a hidden folder, obviously. So we'll have a look at it. And here's the compression, the zip, as I mentioned earlier. That's what the executable did, and we'll see what other processes it spawned here. I'll go ahead and extract it here. Alright, so now this is where the fun begins. This is where we start to see what all those malicious processes are doing, or what the hackers are attempting to steal from you. So just to remind you again, we're working with an info stealer type malware. So obviously it's designed to try and steal any personal information, passwords, things on your desktop, documents, things like that. So we're gonna have a look at that. So first thing we see here in this cookies folder, Firefox. So it's going to try and collect any saved passwords, anything that you may have. So this is all old browsing history. I mean, I don't log into any email accounts or banking accounts or anything like that for obvious reasons. This is the malware analysis box. So anyhow, so just give you a look at that. And desktop text files. I don't have anything too interesting there. A hash, I think that's what we hashed earlier, the initial the malware sample. That's about it. So it's looking for anything on your desktop. It will steal information, text files. So a lot of people have sensitive information stored in there. And it also takes a screenshot of your desktop, which is pretty interesting. Not a whole lot there. That's at the beginning of the video when we initially launched the malware. We got those security pop-ups, and this is the really cool part. This file right here, and mind you, I mean, all this information it's going to attempt to pipe it to the bad guys. There's C2, and or actually another means. I'll show you that as well. So we open up this file here, and as we can see, Fiskard, this is some type of reference to the malware author. This Fiskard work clipper stealer. So, well, I'll show you that in a minute. This URL, what that points to. But as you can see, it just collected all this information about my system in a text file, and would probably try and send it off to the bad guys. So my OS information, software, all the software that's installed in my system, and the process list, all the running processes. So pretty interesting stuff. So yeah, I want to take you to this website here. So I was curious. Let me type this in another window. T.me. Alright, so I just loaded up here. Wrong window. So it takes you to this page. So it's did a little bit of research on this, and from what I can tell, it looks like they use API, and you can see some API calls in the process list. So judging from the website, I mean, you can see here send, receive, encrypt, destruct. Does lots of neat things. Obviously, it has an API, so it looks like the hackers, what they did was use this website's API, and targeted many people with this malware, and it was trying to, well, if a person was successfully infected with this malware, then these API calls would try and pipe that information to this website. That's what I got out of that. As you can see, and it's kind of funny. I'm not sure why they would even put like reference the website where they're sending all this information off to. I mean, to me that doesn't make any sense, right? But anyhow, you would think they would try and be as discreet as possible. All right, so that's about it for that one. Let's go ahead and have a look at what we can find in process hacker, any indicators of compromise. So going back to this file that or this process that I suspended, and what we're going to do is, as you can see, memory. We're going to pull the strings out of memory and see what malicious indicators we can pull out of here. So we're going to have. Let's try that again. We're going to put a filter because there's a whole bunch of data in there. HTTP traffic. And there we go. Here, let me move this over. So you can see this API telegram.org bot. So as I mentioned before, they're using that website and website's API to pipe information off to the bad guys. So just an interesting look at everything else that the malware is doing, how it's sending information off to the bad guys, and obviously there's a whole bunch of strings in here, domains you can go through and possibly block to protect your environment. So that's it for that. Close this. Close this. And I think that's about it. Um, so we use about 3 or 4 different tools there. So we can go ahead and revert my box to a clean state. So anyhow, yeah, we went through this COVID-19 malware. We found out how it works. We took a deep dive in all the different processes. We're able to get some valuable information from the strings in memory, some domains, how the malware works as far as creating and then compressing the folders and creating tech documents that enumerate your system, and attempt to send it off to the bad guys. So that was pretty cool. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Oh, and as far as from a lessons learned or best practices perspective, specifically relating to this type of malware or attack, you definitely want to know how to spot and react to phishing emails, properly. Don't download any apps from the Google Play Store or Apple Store that you really don't need, because there's a lot of crap out there. And let's be honest, there's a lot of malicious apps. What else? What else? Yeah, so malicious websites. So obviously this is a tricky one, right? A lot of people are out there trying to find information out about this COVID-19. Trying to find that legitimate John Hopkins heat map, to see how bad this is getting and whatnot. So people are out there doing Google searches and they're coming across malicious websites that are tricking users to download this malicious application that attempts to steal your information. So my advice around that would be, I mean, if you know the website, I would say just type it, in the search box. I know this. I think that URL is pretty long, so it's probably not feasible. So I guess in that case, I would say just a Google search. Excuse me, a Google search for that website. In the first couple of hits, the first few hits are probably legitimate. But I would just say be cautious. It's all free. There should be no pop-ups. Um, and obviously if something pops up and asks you to download an app and install it and execute it, that's all bad news. So run. If you see anything like that, just run. And lastly, passwords. Yeah, I would highly recommend that you don't store passwords on any websites, especially if you have um, if they're excuse me if they're for very important websites like um, banking websites, your email accounts and whatnot, because obviously there's a chance that if you are infected with an info stealer, it's going to try and collect that all information and send it to the bad guys. All right, so I think that's about it. We're going on 25 minutes already. Um, so anyhow, I hope you liked the video. Be sure to check out my other my other videos. I have lots of other ones where I do malware analysis on other types of malware samples like Emotet, a couple different ransomware variants. I got some videos on some red team and blue team stuff. Um, Lots of good stuff on there. So check it out. Hope you enjoy the video. Stay safe. All right. Take care. Thanks.